Where do we even start?
It's been a long week.
It's been 2 weeks since we last podcasted.
Yes, I actually was like, "Where's my equipment? What do I do?" I feel like I'm rusty.
Like, oh my God! So where do we start?
That's a good question.
Where do we start? So
where do we even leave off? I don't even know.
Well, okay, so this is Extra Wet Wednesday, season finale edition, so we'll get to all that. But in the intervening 2 weeks since the last episode, what happened was Monday night, we're going and checking our DVRs and nothing recorded. We couldn't figure it out. Oh, look, turns out there's no episode airing at all last week. So we're like, okay, well, let's get something else up on the air. Let's do our Vanderpump Rules. Let's do something, we'll get something up. But then nope. Your heart had to go and explode.
It did. It was so overwhelmed.
And that's
with
not an exaggeration, really. So
I think it's all the goddamn Vanderpump Rules I watched in a very short amount of time. I think it made my heart it gave me, I don't know, it just made my heart explode.
We need to put out user restrictions. Do not try this at home. Warning.
Right. May cause heart palpitations and AFib.
Please do not watch if you have what the hell's the name of the thing you have?
I have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, but the symptom of that was the AFib. So my heart decided to just beat at 180 beats per minute out of nowhere and just stay like that. My Apple Watch was like 180, 75, 60, 140. It was just do.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, it's not at all.
And how long did you let it go on? Kids, don't try this at home before you went in.
Do not try this at home. So my mom has
cardiologist. You at least did that. But come on now. He said go to the ER, for God's sake.
It was July 3rd at 7 p.m. when it happened. So I was like, July 4th, my doctor's office is closed. And then I was like, well, a lot of times people can come out of it. So
a lot of times.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah. I mean,
and I back to just, hey, come give me CPR, please.
I know, right? So you're sometimes your heart
who brought Damar Hamlin back to life on the field.
Right.
Get those guys over here.
Right. So I was like, well, it'll just maybe regulate. Let me give it like 24 hours or so. Well, then July 4th happened. And, of course, I'm like not passing out or anything, but I'm definitely not 100%. I'm walking out,
not blacking out, just kind of browning out.
Right. I'm walking up a flight of stairs and going, whoo, that was hard.
Kids, do not try this at home.
So then, of course, I called my cardiologist and he was like, yeah, I had an appointment with him like in a couple of days. So he was like, just go to the ER to be sure. And then, of course, they admitted me and they tried many, many drugs to get my heart back out of AFib, which did not work. So then I got to be put under and shocked. And then, boom, I came out of it and I was like feeling good.
So they put you on propofol, which, by the way, is the drug that Michael Jackson was using to just go night at night, go sleepy.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I know, right?
Woo-wee.
Sorry, so they put you under and then they literally shock you. It's like the paddles, like right? Like, yep. And then you're fine after that. And what's so funny is you had mentioned this heart thing before, but I wouldn't have recognized the name of it if I hadn't, I wouldn't recognize anything about it in conversation.
Right.
But you're in the ER, you're doing this, you're like, they're going to give me this procedure, they're going to knock me out, they're going to shock me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, okay. And it's like Sunday afternoon or no, because it was before.
It was Thursday when they did the actual procedure.
So Thursday, late afternoon, the procedure was happening. I'm watching Smartless on tour, which Smartless, if you don't know, is a podcast. It's Will Arnett, Sean Hayes, and Jason Bateman. And it's hilarious.
Oh, that sounds funny.
Oh, it is. It's hilarious. And then they did this it's on HBO or Max or whatever the hell it's called now. Um, and it's them going on tour. So it's them at each city. It's just like a like outtake. It's like blurbs from each, their whole tour. It was really funny. And so this last episode, they're sitting on the couch, and Sean Hayes is talking about something came up where he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm at Cedar Sinai all the time." He's like, "The ER people know me because like he's like I have a thing where my heart goes really fast, and then I walk into the ER." And then I walk in the ER, and then they knock me out, and then they shock me, and then I come back, and then I'm like, okay, and everything's fine, and just walk out. And I was like, oh my God. I paused it, and I was like, to Hetero Life Mate, I was like, that's literally what Luke's saying right now. That's exactly it. The same exact thing. Like, I've never heard of this before. And then suddenly there it is. Sean Hayes has the same thing he did.
Well, it sucks. The one thing that does suck
this is normal.
Yeah, is that now I have to be on blood thinners indefinitely because AFib can cause blood clots because your heart's not pumping efficiently, so blood can pool and clot in your heart. So even though my cholesterol is good and like my condition is a genetic, not like a lifestyle issue, it sucks. And so I have to do that, and I have to be on a drug to regulate my heartbeat. But I did give up caffeine, so I haven't had, just because you don't want to increase your heart rate. I have not had
how much you were drinking, probably a smart idea.
Right. And so I have not had any coffee, no energy drinks, no nothing. Straight water. I've been hydrating, walking around with my 40-ounce tumbler. I feel great though. I actually do feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And you're sleeping better. And when your heart rhythmia is all back to normal, and your sleep apnea and all that's regulated, and okay.
Yeah. Everything's good. I mean,
good.
So far so good. I'm alive. Okay.
And then, oh, I'm all excited. It's the season finale. Yay. Everything's good. And then you text me about your mom. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know. So my mom just went to the hospital. So I'll be seeing her tomorrow. Not sure what's going on yet. I've been talking to my brother. So
getting the updates. Right.
Yeah, he's there now, and I'll go tomorrow because I have Kaya. So yeah, just another crazy week.
Just nuts. And so we meant to get an episode up last week. We were just going to do something else. And then obviously somebody's heart had to go and like explode. So,
Lord knows you can't podcast from a hospital because they're coming into your room every 5 seconds.
I know, right? And then you should have been going live from the hospital, Lexi.
Oh my God, why didn't I do that?
Why didn't you do that? And then
nobody wanted to see what I look like, let me tell you. It was not pretty.
So so sorry guys, we didn't get an episode up. There was no Below Deck, so there wasn't that episode, and then we didn't get a chance to get something else up. But in the meantime, Threads launched this new social media app. It's just the Meta Mark Zuckerberg answer to Elon Musk's Twitter that's dying a very rapid death, thank God. I think as soon as they instituted their like 100 tweet capacity or 600 tweet max unless you paid to see like more, I think that was like the final straw. And then Zuck pushed out this Threads social media app. I'm on it, Frauded Media. The Fraudcast is on it at the Fraudcast.
I joined it. Don't know what I'm doing.
I think everybody's still figuring it out. I don't know. It's like this weird hybrid mix of, it's Twitter, but I keep expecting it to be Instagram. But then there's some Instagram things. I don't know. It's all very weird.
I never used Twitter, so like I never did for either. Years. Yeah, I barely ever used it. It was like super negative. Like every time I got on it for years, it's been like awful. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see what Threads does. I'm excited to try something different.
I don't know. I know Lucy followed me. Lucy from the shows, from
nice.
Below Deck followed me, which was nice. Alex reposted something that I had reposted. So I don't know. But then I've gotten likes and reposts from Chase on Instagram. So I don't know. We're all just figuring it out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was excited to follow
us.
Sorry. No, I was just thinking about how Captain Jason and I have been messaging on Instagram.
That's where I was going with
got it.
with this. Sorry, your brain went there early.
I did. I was really excited. I'm sorry. If
You're
you're
picturing
listening,
him half
Captain
naked
Jason,
talking to
maybe, just maybe.
you. Maybe.
What can I say? I'm a woman.
Well, over here in Virginia, porn is illegal right now. So
Well, good thing I'm in Maryland.
I know. So do you know about this, right? This no porn in Virginia thing, right?
I don't know much about it. You mentioned something before, but I don't know.
So Glenn Youngkin, our governor, or just it's awful. But he ran on the I'm not quite like Donald Trump, but he actually is in disguise. I'm sorry, I'm not really afraid to say that. In any case, a bunch of new laws went into effect on July 1st. And this is one of them that he put in something, in the name of like family protection, family values or some nonsense like that. There's some age restriction requirement that he has put into place in the state of Virginia for people wanting to access adult content, i.e. Pornhub or any of the like. Now, before you just had to go to pornhub.com and everything was fine. You see, pick and choose whatever you want to see. Well, now you get this thing. So what had happened is all these sites, they said, in order to make our websites compliant with these archaic restrictions in Virginia, where you would have to do this, like you'd have to like become a member type of thing, because they would have to check verify your age, your identification, and then get that into their system. Like every time you wanted to go, just like spank it to a bunch of threesomes or something.
There's like a paper trail of your porn history.
Right, which kind of is like, what? Are you kidding me? So these websites, rather than comply with this, they said it's easier for us to just not do business in the state of Virginia. It's better, cheaper for them to just not do business in the state of Virginia. So now those of us who live in the state of Virginia, when you're, at home perusing, on a weekend night, should you desire to watch a, cinematic flick, you're not unable to do so.
You got to pull out your old Playboy magazines and your old shit from the 80s.
I'm like,
you got to go to a bookstore.
I know, right? I'm like, do we still
read
have a VHS tape somewhere? I told Hetero Life Mate. So, okay, so I'm gonna get this. I'm going into this detail at work, right? And I'm gonna end up going up to New York, the state of New York, for some of it. And I told him that while I was up there, I would record screenshot, like on screen record porn for him and email it to him so that he can have porn.
Girl, your email box is full. You don't have the space for that.
Right? I don't have the capacity. I can't figure out how to clear out my damn Gmail box from 17 years ago. Like, how am I gonna keep capacity of porn on my computer? Nothing like flagging the old feds, right? Oh, they're transmitting porn. What is it?
Oh my God. This is crazy.
So I don't know like what is gonna happen with this, but like Virginia is an interesting state. We're like a purple state, we're a swing state. Like up in the northern part of Virginia is all very blue, but then the rest of Virginia is very rural and it's very red. So hence why we had a Democratic governor last time, and now we currently have a Republican, and why we're always seem to be a swing state and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to unite the Democrats and Republicans in the state of Virginia more than porn. But if porn doesn't do it, if porn doesn't unite us in the state of Virginia, like Virginians united for porn should be like whoever's running that, like that should be your platform.
Meanwhile, in Maryland on July 1st, we got recreational weed.
I know, right?
I drove by the dispensary today on my way to, because the dispensary is like a mile away from Kaya's daycare. It's all on West Street, and like it's Annapolis. It's a very nice area. This dispensary is super nice. I drove by again. There's two.
They have medical
trucks
and recreational.
Right. There's two food trucks outside.
Just like in Virginia, they're different too.
Right.
Well, no, Virginia only has Medicinal, sorry.
Well, there was a DJ outside. There was like red carpet. This was today. This is what was a Monday afternoon. They had 2 food trucks and like security everywhere, and people were like outside having fun. I was like, what is going on today? Meanwhile, I'm picking up Kaya from daycare. I'm like, well, bye everyone.
Yep.
Have fun with your taco Monday or whatever truck.
Tell you what, have the Girl Scout cookies set up camp next to the dispensaries yet?
You know,
I want to know.
That's a good question.
Right?
They'd make a lot of money.
Buy it on your way out. Like you go in, you buy your weekend stash, and
now we're gonna get reviews saying, why are you talking about Girl Scouts and marijuana
and
porn? Go to hell.
And porn. Hey, but on that note, separate but not related at all, completely not related. If there are any VPN companies that want to sponsor us, you know, I'm all game. I'm all ears.
Oh my god.
Oh,
it's crazy.
So, yeah, I'm gonna have to like, can I watch Cinemax? Can I watch like, am I gonna have to put on like the L Word? Like, what? Going back to
like, you know me, I am neither Democrat nor Republican, but I'm all about freedom, and I think that the more you try to suppress any group or thing, the more it's gonna bite you in the ass. It's like people like in the quote of Jurassic Park, life finds a way. Like people will find a way to watch. People will find a way to watch their porn. To watch porn. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's like exactly. You could try to control whatever you want to control, but it's not gonna work.
I do wonder what the unintended consequences of this are going to be, because there always is. Anytime you have like when you had Prohibition, you had the speakeasies and you had bathtub gin, and you had all these new ingenious ways of making alcohol that didn't require, you know, the public.
Well, maybe we'll bring back whorehouses like from like the old days, like big prostitution rings. Yeah,
the saloon swinging doors. Well, partner, okay.
Well, I can't watch sex. I'm gonna pay for it some way or another. all those bookstores that line like Richmond Highway and everything else, like, and then there are the video stores. You know what I mean? That had like the booths. Like those are going to come back and like the Spank It booths. Right. And this is no jabs at sex workers, not jabbing you at all. No, just saying like there's going to be
sex workers come to Virginia, figure it out, find a way. You guys are ingenious. Find a way to get past this and let us know. Come on the show and talk to us. We'll protect your anonymity. But we gotta figure this out. Otherwise we'll be relegated to either thirst trap pictures of Gary or nude gay men walking around a boat. Which do you what?
I said the thruples.
When remember the 2 guys were walking naked? Yes. And they feed off the side of the boat. Yeah. Anyway, that's all Below Deck. Below Deck. And we will take a quick break and be right back for that.
Hey guys, Hetero Life Mate here. We're coming up into the busy months, weddings, college graduations, your stepmom placing 3rd in a dog grooming competition. We've all got reasons to celebrate this summer and a lot of reasons to gift. So why not give them something they'll love? Give them drinks and get them all from Drizzly, the go-to app for alcohol delivery. With Drizzly, you can shop from a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits and get them all delivered from stores near you. Looking to save some dough? Compare prices and find the best deals on the best drinks so you can spend all that extra money on something that you really, really, really need. Like that ginormous pink inflatable flamingo. Who doesn't need that? Then get all those drinkable gifts delivered to wherever the summer shindig is digging. You'll probably be getting a sappy thank you card in no time, and ordering is easy. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's drizzly.com, DRIZLY.com today. DRIZLY.com. Ding dong, it's Drizzly. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
All right. Oh my God, you guys. I want to tell you about this underwear that I'm obsessed with. It is the Fits Everybody collection by Skims. And it feels like no other underwear I've ever worn before. It's stretchy and soft, and it kind of just melts onto your body and you forget you're wearing it. Skims is creating the next generation of underwear for everybody. And I do mean everybody. My girls are a 34 double D. I've breastfed. I've had a reduction. I've gained weight. I've lost weight. I've been through it all. And this is my new favorite bra that I wear all the time. It is the Fits Everybody t-shirt bra. And I'm telling you, it's a miracle. A t-shirt bra I can actually wear. I love it. It's my favorite. I'm also a super fan of the Fits Everybody Racerback bra. It's my new go-to bra when working from home. The Fits Everybody collection of underwear is super lightweight and molds to your body. It's a buttery soft fabric that stretches twice its size without ever losing its shape, meaning that you get the perfect fit every time. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. You will get the perfect fit every time with these. And they're available in sizes double extra small up to a 4X. You guys, believe the hype. The collection has nearly 90,000 five-star reviews for a reason. The Fits Everybody collection and more perfect fit essentials are available now at skims.com. Plus, you get free shipping on orders over $75. After you place your order, be sure to let them know that we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select the Fraudcast from the drop-down menu that follows.
Hey, you guys, you know that I love my Nutrafol. I've been taking it for a long time, and I'm going to continue to take it for a long time because I, like millions of Americans, experience thinning hair. It's more than common, it's normal, but it's not openly talked about, especially among women. Going through it can be lonely and frustrating, and it's time to change that conversation and join the thousands of women like me who are standing up for their strands with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and metabolism through a whole body health. Nutrafol has 3 unique formulas to support women throughout all stages of life, including postpartum and menopause. Each formula is physician formulated using natural, drug-free, medical-grade ingredients in consistently effective dosages so you get the most reliable results. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. Over 3,000 top doctors and stylists recommend Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code FRAUD to save $10 off your first month subscription. This offer is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, you get free shipping on every order. Get $10 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, with the promo code FRAUD.
Hey, Fraudcasters. Life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should your payday? The money you earn today can be in your hands today with EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day or up to $750 per pay period. Just download the EarnIn app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $100 a day as you work. Any money that you access is automatically repaid from your next paycheck. Make EarnIn a part of your financial routine and join EarnIn's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about EarnIn, I think about financial stability and security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. I tell you what, you guys, just knowing that this app exists out there gives me a lot of peace of mind and security. Download EarnIn today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in Fraudcast under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. That's Fraudcast under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, daily max, pay period max. See earnin.com TOS for details. EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Okay, and we're back. So this was the season finale, another double-decker episode.
Mhm.
Double-decker episode.
Yep.
Mighty big decks you got there, boys. Well, at least Chase. So we are the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. Season 4, episode 16, Boatloads of Thruples. Previously, we see the crew going over the guest preference sheet. We find out, oh, there's a throuple on board. And Colin calls Gary a desperate man. And of course, the weird and gross conversation about Gary talking about Mads being on her period and going down her. I don't want to say that again.
Oh my God. And I was watching the marathon that was leading up to it. So that was I got to see that episode again and relive all of that in its glory again.
So gross that they even
Matt,
had that conversation.
Period? Don't you think you should have told me that before I H out? Dude, you would have noticed.
Jesus.
Men are so dumb. And the women are sitting there going, seriously? Like,
yeah.
Men are so dumb.
So after that conversation, Mads is like, I'm done with everyone. And Gary says he doesn't want to see Alex all day because he caused drama. And I'm like, wait, because Alex was the one who went to Gary and said, oh, she's on her period. That's what she told me or whatever. But it was in passing. It was like a little chill, like, oh, she's bloated or whatever.
That's not necessarily wrong. Like Alex, like that was stupid. And he didn't relay the entire conversation because he probably didn't hear the whole conversation because men are dumb. Not only do we have Alex being stupid about this, right? Like he didn't hear the whole conversation, whatever. It's all stupid and stuff. But then we have Gary's reaction to this whole thing, which I think Chase talks about it a little bit later, was like,
so dramatic,
just like the completely like childish, immature way of handling the situation. Going and confronting Mads about, shouldn't you have told me this? And then they figured it all out. And then Mads figured, everyone's like, why did Alex say anything? Like, why to begin with? Like, it was just the whole circle jerk of telephone was just absolutely.
That boat is way too small for them to have this many miscommunications. Like, you're literally all on the same boat.
Yeah, literally. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, then after Gary is done having his little toddler hissy fit, we see Grant and Todd, the co-primaries, walk in and talking about how excited they are to scope out the hot deckhands. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, let's talk about the co-primaries because they were both very attractive. I was very into the tattooed one and I was like, do you really have to be gay? Like, can you please? You are so hot. That is my type. And damn. Oh my God. So then the guests are entering via the tender or whatever. They seem pretty chill at first. I was like, everyone seems nice. The one guest's mom is on board. And I was like, oh, this poor woman is about to be. I just knew. I was like, she's going to be in for it. So they start drinking pretty heavily right away. Like,
yeah, heavy stuff. I didn't hear an espresso martini for the entirety of this charter, though.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wait, no, there was espresso shots, I think, at one point.
Oh.
But does that count? Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
That's like an espresso martini. I mean, who drinks espresso anything?
No.
On a boat in the middle of the sun.
And I have to say, my favorite part of, I think, both episodes is the mom floating away on the unicorn raft.
Oh my God.
Still my favorite part. I was laughing out loud by myself.
And then Alex being like, uh-oh, I better go rein that in because before this becomes like an open water rescue.
Yeah. And she falls off the unicorn. She's like splashing around.
When they were trying to put her on it at first and she couldn't because she was like on the edge of it. And so it flipped over at first.
Oh my.
And then she goes out and then she falls off out there. It was just, oh my God.
That was hilarious.
It was so much fun though. 100% that would be me trying to float on the damn unicorn.
100%, me too. Well, they're all drinking tequila and they did so many tequila shots that I almost felt like I was drinking with them. I felt nauseous. I was like, oh
my God, when that guy Randy or whatever, like when he started heaving, that was after dinner. But yeah, I felt that way. Like after dinner, when he started stumbling and going down, I was like, oh my God, I've so been there where you're just like, all of a sudden you're like, boom, lights out. I need to go.
He just left.
Just boom, left.
Well, that brings us to Randy. Yeah. Going to lay down, getting wasted. And the other guests, it's still daytime. They are just on this charter for a very short amount of time. Mm-hmm. Guests go upstairs because the sales are going up. So they're so excited to see, you know, everything, the process of that happening. But then Nick and Randy are fighting in the room
because Randy's drunk. So Nick and Randy are part of the throuple.
See, I was gonna try to diagram it out, and I was like, this is too
so
much.
Nick and Randy are part of the throuple, and then there's the other part of the throuple, which is
I can't remember. Scott. No, not Scott. He was in the other one.
Yeah. But he was like, because after, like, because the husband and the boyfriend were arguing with each other over who would have taken care, because whoever it was just like left him. He's like, how dare you like just leave me passed out on the floor? That's so bad. He's like, dude, you were so drunk, you were so stupid. And then the other one was like, oh, I would have taken so much better care of him, you know. Da, da, da. So they're arguing over who would take better care of this drunk asshole. And then the one, and I assume it was the husband who had said the stuff earlier, because he's talking to the mom that's there, and she's saying like, I can't divorce him because he would take me for everything that I had. And she's like, did you not have a prenup? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
That was the funniest fucking part.
Oh my goodness.
He can't divorce his drunk out. So that's why they have the boyfriend, right? It's like they can't get divorced, so let's just bring in the boyfriend and we can all have fun.
It's a complicated situation, that's for sure.
It is. Now, the fight is at dinner, and we were guessing last time, which was 2 weeks ago, we were trying to guess who the guy was yelling at. And I can't remember who guessed what, but one of us guessed he was yelling at, like, he was part of the throuple yelling at another part of the throuple. And the other one of us, I think, guessed that he was yelling at the other parties on the boat. And whoever said that one, which I think it was you, is correct. Because
I have absolutely no recollection of that conversation at all. I think the electricity went to my brain.
I don't remember what I was about to say 2 minutes ago, but hey, this conversation from 2 weeks ago.
Listen, if you're telling me I won whatever bet we had or not bet or whatever, I'll take it. I mean,
yeah, I think you were right, because the guy was drunk who was the part of the throuple. He was one of the husbands in the throuple, and he was so drunk and stuff, he was yelling at the guy with the tats, I think the other couple that was there, the co-primaries or whatever. And it ended up being those two guys and the mom, and then on like one team, and then the throuple on like another team. Like the entire rest of the charter, it was just like 3 in one, 3 in the other. Except when the two guys were having sex on the bunny bed.
It was so awkward seeing Mads and Lucy dropping off the laundry. They're like, knock, knock. Meanwhile, there's like screaming, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Screaming from all oh my God. All of that is just, tell you what, stuff like that, it just makes me like so glad that I'm sober, but also like, because I'm like, when you're in an environment like that, why do you drink so much that you're going to be that plastered? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking alcoholic, because it's there, because you can, and you have no control over it. That's why we drink the way that we do. I'm not saying any one of them has an alcohol problem. Not at all. Absolutely not saying that. But I'm saying me, like, that would be mine, because it's there, right?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'd be scared as shit if I knew I had unlimited alcohol. Like, oh, not gonna drink that. Gonna go slow. I'm scared I'm gonna get drunk.
I totally wouldn't. I totally wouldn't go slow.
It's dinner time, and Alicia made this beautiful dinner, and of course the guests start arguing again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, the guests go back to their cabins and they're screaming at each other some more. So now Captain Glenn gets involved.
Yes.
Now, Captain Glenn, what is he, about 5'4", maybe? Pushing 5'4"?
Maybe.
And he was like
5'6".
You think so?
Maybe. Yeah, I'll give him 5'6".
I don't know. I saw him at the end standing next to the girls. I was like, he's shorter than them. They look tiny, but either way. Okay, 5'6". So I'm like, what is this guy going to do right now? He's a nice guy, you know, he's stepping up, but I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to stop any fights from happening. However, it didn't get to physical, like anything physical, which is good. He told them that the moment he sees someone getting aggro, he's kicking them off the boat.
Oh, Glenn.
I was like, okay. Is aggro meaning like aggressive? What does aggro mean?
That's like an old school term for aggressive, out of control.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was like a 70s, 80s term, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that was before your time.
Maybe. Yeah. But it's good to see that the one, especially Randy, whatever the crazier one was, he started to calm down. At first I thought he was going to go off on Captain Glenn.
Yeah.
He started to. Yeah. Well, then we see Boat Mom. That's what I'm going to call her. I don't know her name. Boat Mom is telling Brad he deserves so much better. Oh yeah, then actually that's kind of where we left off.
Oh, that's the conversation.
Yeah.
These are so much better. He's like, I can't divorce him because he'll take me for everything that I have.
And then we see Chase standing outside of the cabins for a while, just I guess being a bodyguard. Now Chase,
that's right, because he was showing off his muscles. They're like, if you need it, because I think Gary was going to sleep. He's like, if you need muscle, Chase is around. Chase was like, I'm being bodyguard, walking up and down the hallway.
Yep. Captain America.
Yeah, exactly.
Saving the day. Coming again to save the motherfucking day. Yeah. Well, he does yoga. He does bodyguarding. He's a hard worker. What doesn't Chase do? I don't know.
He can wear a Speedo and go,
Amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next day we see the guests slowly arising from the dead. And I'm surprised that they all seem pretty calm and put together for the morning time.
Yeah.
And Alicia's food looked amazing. She did a huge breakfast spread. Which
have we talked about the girls complaining about the state of the bathrooms?
Not yet. Or yeah, that's coming up though. Yeah. Ooh. So the guests want to go to the beach and they want to take a tequila punch with them. I'm like, it is like 9:00 in the morning and you all are out of control. They should have not put any tequila in that punch. Very minimal. And this is the point, where we see Lucy cleaning the bathroom when they go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I should never have to flush a toilet for grown-ass men.
Yeah, because she had cleaned up puke. They'd puked in the sink the day before. And like today, like they showed the toilet. Like it was disgusting. I was like, oh my God, like people are so gross. It's like
animals.
It's like, remember the charter with the, maybe it was last season. I can't remember. I don't know. With the women and the blood and the just like there was just like blood everywhere for some random reason and stuff. It was just so gross.
Yeah.
So gross.
Listen, I don't want to call a plumber if like my toilet is clogged because it's just like embarrassing. Like I can't imagine not flushing. Like that's just like it's so gross.
So gross.
Yeah.
So disgusting.
It reminds me of the one episode of Below Deck or what is it? Below Deck Down Under. I keep saying Australia, but it's Down Under. When there was a plumbing incident and then Captain Jason, being that he was a former plumber, just got in and was cleaning up the shit right with him. And I was like, that's the man. That's such a man. Dirty, shitty hands. So sexy. Come on, we all want a man that can fix stuff, right? Like to some level, like or pay it. I don't know, pay somebody.
Yeah, I'll pay someone to do certain things. Plain and shit is not something I need my man or me to be doing. It's fine. It's fine. You do you.
Yeah. Well, we see Mads and Alex now on the beach with the guests, with the hot guests. And this is where things get weird.
Right? This is the exercise session led by one of the co-primaries that's like, what even? Yeah, he was pretty odd. But like, what even is this? He was getting off on watching Alex. Oh yeah, Alex, that's so deep. That's so deep, like doing squats while he's like wheelbarrowing Maddie. Like it was so weird.
And listen, I know, I get it. You're trying to use body weight instead of weights. You know, like you're using whatever the physics of it. Maddie's got to be what, like 100 pounds soaking wet, probably. Like,
yeah.
she's in the plank position. Like, this is just like very awkward looking, but to each his own, I guess.
Yeah, he was like, and then we're gonna go swimming, and like, I mean, like, props to them for like doing it because they always say yes to the guests, but like, I was like, yeah, that's a little weird. Okay. I wish we'd had more like talking heads of them talking about it, of Matt and Alex talking about it. Maybe we'll get at the reunion, which we get next week.
I hope so. Well, then it was funny because Colin and Gary are talking on the boat, and Colin tells Gary that Mads and Alex are together on the beach, and oh my God, Gary's face.
Yeah,
looks so sad.
At least so Gary, like, so yeah, at this point in the season, Mads and Alex have basically decided, okay, after this charter, we're gonna go for it, because as Alex said, he's like, Gary's only my boss for another 2 days, like after that, whatever. So they basically like, okay, it's game on, right? And so now, Gary's like, oh, my poor Fifis. When by Fifis, he actually means ego. His poor ego is broken. But like, they've, at least by the end, like, Colin has figured it out, and like, at least, I mean, Gary seems to have some semblance of how he's like, yeah, it feels weird to be on the receiving end of what I normally do. So at least he has the self-awareness to recognize that aspect of the behavior and all his shenanigans with Mads and Daisy. And like, Mads had it, right? He's like, dude, this is like, like, the only one you like is Daisy. Like, that's obvious to me.
I'm hoping it's a growing opportunity for him too, especially when he watches it back and really sees Mads tell him multiple times, I don't like you like that. Like, I'm just having fun. Maybe he'll kind of
props to the producers again. Vivi, that was probably your voice that we were hearing. Oh my God. So I was like, you're like, no, I mean, if she had just said that from the beginning, the first time we made out, and what if we told you she did, and proceed to play a plethora of scenes of her saying it's just sex, it's just casual, it's just
Gary's face looks so sad and confused. I was like, oh man.
He's so clueless.
Yeah.
He really is that clueless. He had no idea. Good Lord have mercy. He is dumb. Yep. That dick would be powerful, because that's him, dumb man. Like, shh, don't talk. Just don't talk.
Well, we know what his mouth is good for, but it's not talking. Apparently. I'm getting all hot and bothered over here. I'm getting not for Gary, just in general.
Not for porn. I'm in Virginia. Fuck you, Glenn Youngkin.
I'm in Maryland. I could watch it if I wanted to, but I don't need to. Right now, I'm good.
Married couple. Why a married couple can't enjoy porn in the privacy of our bedroom? No, we can't, Glenn Youngkin. Apparently, we cannot. So continue.
It's so crazy. Absolutely bananas. There's so many more things to be like worried about in this world, and he's banning porn. Like, come on, man.
We're in a state where literally a 6-year-old shot a teacher. Clearly, we have bigger issues. A student
didn't you know it started from the porn, Katrina?
Oh, it must have. Clearly, there's a connection.
Yeah, it's all the porn's fault.
I'm just saying, like, we have bigger issues to worry about right now in our state than, okay. Anyway, I digress for now. Anyway.
Well, now we're moving on to episode 17, Man Buns. It has been fun. We see Daisy and Colin having a talk, and she says that she needs to put distance between her and Gary. No fucking shit.
Oh, really? Is she finally starting to see the light that maybe her behavior is an issue here too? God, she's the worst.
Well, while they're talking, then we see the guests getting ready for their anything but clothes outfits, which were super creative and reminded me of my sorority days. Dressing up and all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally wrote, sad he's gay. He's so sexy with his light up thong.
Lights around his ass. Yeah.
That was my notes.
Yeah.
Those are my
Well,
notes.
clearly all those, using the plank position and all those workouts on the beach, do something because, those deep squats gave him those
He is a chiseled man.
buns of steel.
Yep. Lucy actually came out with some funny like little sayings this episode. I'm like, they didn't really show much of her, I feel like, the whole
No.
season. And she says her ass is sweating, and who doesn't want to wear clothes? Horse. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a lot funnier than they, I think, gave her screen time for.
They focused so much on the love triangle that they didn't show some of the other people so much.
Which love triangle? The Mads, Alex, Gary love triangle, or the Gary, Colin, Daisy love triangle?
Sorry, you're right. There's two of them. They both
the Venn diagram that involves Gary
and
at
in the
center.
middle. Yeah, I was saying Gary's in the middle of the Venn diagram.
Like that.
I specifically wrote down that Elisha made oysters with a sauce that wasn't grenadine. She put on a red sauce, and I was like, oh, look, it's not Rocky's grenadine that she added to the oysters that made the guests puke. That's awesome.
Oh, that was the worst.
So then Gary's coming out with a cone outfit for his like anything but clothes. And I'm like, of course he would. Of course he would.
Not just say them at the same time. Of course he was.
I was like, anything to make his dick look bigger in front of everyone.
Anything to bring focus to his dick.
Yep. Although the tossing hangers game where he was laying down with his cone and they were trying to toss the hangers on him was kind of creative.
And for this group of individuals, it was perfect. So
absolutely,
God bless Gary for being willing to use his penis for good, not just evil.
Not just evil.
And
dirty. Yeah. So
just kidding. I'm not saying he has syphilis. Jesus, don't at me.
Gary's in the laundry telling Mads he has feelings for her, but as we saw in a clip before, he was telling Colin he doesn't have any feelings for her. And then that's when the producer steps in and they have that whole conversation about, well, she's told you she doesn't like you.
Oh, Vivi, I love you so much.
Yeah. Well, the next day the guests are eating breakfast and sailing, and they dock and say goodbye. As Chase lays,
when Elisha was losing all like the hot water and all that. Was this the sail or one of the sails on these episodes? She was in the kitchen, like, and there's things are always a shit show down under below deck,
below deck,
as it were. When they're sailing, but Elisha, I feel, has the worst of it. And this one was like the worst of the worst because she had like all these people in the kitchen with her. She had like stuff that was like hot and coming off. And it's like, can they not be timed better? Can she not be warned more in advance to plan better? Yeah. Like that was a whole conversation that they had to have with like Natasha because she just wasn't cooking because, we're going to be sailing in 4 hours. So I can't cook now, or whatever nonsense she was spewing.
Maybe Captain Glenn should have used his radio like he told Daisy to use her radio to communicate, hey, we're about to heal.
Like give her some more warning so she can like not have burning hot molten lava coming off the stove at 20 degrees angle.
I know. It's dangerous on those sailboats from what I can see. You did it. Yeah. I'm sure,
It is. You got lines and sheets and all kinds of things flailing about.
Yeah. Like I said, it's my favorite part of the episode to see shit flying. And I'm always like, what's going to go where? I'm like trying to guess what's going to fly off where. I'm always wrong. It's always something crazy. Yeah. So as the guests are leaving, Chase kind of just lays down in front of everyone because it's the final charter, and it's kind of like, like it's over.
In his defense, they were well down the whatever.
100%.
They weren't watching anymore.
No, but of course Gary's like, "What are you doing? Get up!" Blah blah blah.
God, that was such petty ass bullshit.
Yeah, he's talking about like professionalism, yet he's running a boat the way he's running the boat. So it's just
And I like that they were
crazy.
calling him on that. Like all the other, and the employees in the talking heads were saying that. They're like, he's being, he's trying to, he wanted to punish Alex for saying the comment he did about Maddie, Mad's on her period or whatever. Like you can't do that. Like you need to have better professionalism, and you can't let this kind of stuff. It's just not the appropriate way to handle things. You're just a child, Gary.
Right.
And I love that they all basically called him on it. So it will be interesting to see like what he says at the reunion next week.
Yep. Well, they're now having the tip meeting, and Captain Glenn is complimenting everyone just on their growth, on everything that they've done throughout the season, and tells them that they got a $17,500 tip.
Which is,
and Lucy said that's like that much to flush your shit down the toilet.
like totally like, yeah.
Which is fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hashtag facts.
After the tip meeting, the girls are in the van talking about Daisy's future. They're going to dinner or whatever. Daisy's future with Colin. And she said she isn't sure where it's headed, but she knows she likes him. I don't know. I feel like her reaction to that question is different than when she talked about Gary in the past.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Mannerisms, facial expressions.
Both Daisy and Colin want things. Like they want to say the right things. They want things to work out. So they say, oh, it would be great if things work out. But I think they both know that they're not. And it'd be great to have an excuse for things not to be together. They're not on the boat anymore. Maybe they're just better off just friends. I feel like they both know at their core that them separating and going their separate ways is better. Versus, I don't know if you caught this, Mads was talking about something about saying goodbye to Alex or something, but but I know 100% I'm going to see him.
Oh, yeah. No, Alex said I'm going to see her again. So, yep.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. I was like, oh, they're very confident in there.
They've already made plans. They're staying together in Italy for 3 days after the boat, and then they're going to, who knows? They're going to fly back to the States together. Who knows? But they'd already planned it.
And they're probably wanting to do it off camera, away from Gary, just to, focus on each other.
I was really surprised. I was actually really surprised at how tame that the last night out was, because after dinner they came back to the boat. I was expecting it to just be like fucking off the chain and like people having sex everywhere, and none of that happened. I don't know if anybody had sex.
Yeah,
it sounded like Daisy was friend zoning Colin in that. Oh, just cuddling, like I
heard some kissing, but that's about it.
Yeah, she said some comment that was like, oh, that makes it sound like she doesn't want to have sex with him.
I heard him say something to her about where is this heading, where this is going, and she's like, to bed, to sleep.
Like,
going to sleep. I was like, oh, that's what a guy once told me. That I was hooking up with this guy years ago, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was getting ready for work, and he's like, so what are we? I was like, we're having sex. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, I got to go to work. What are you talking about? Get out. I can't believe I just said that.
What are we?
Yeah. Hope mom's not listening. Anywho. So now.
Sorry, mom.
Sorry, mom.
She's already in the hospital. What do you want?
I know.
Send her back to the hospital.
God. They're all drinking at dinner. And they're talking about, Captain Glenn asked them what their highs and lows were for the season. And of course, Colin says, which makes sense since he's an engineer, the lowest part was when the engine kept failing. And Daisy said her lowest was when Glenn was on her back. And she starts crying. And I was like, geez, okay. I'm like, first of all.
I was like, I wanted to smack her so bad. I was like, really? Like, Captain Sandy would have fired your ass like 3 charters ago. Like, don't even, like, Captain Glenn was not on your ass about anything.
I feel like Captain Sandy would have fired Gary too. I feel like he would have gone on her last nerve.
But Gary and Glenn are like, they're like besties because they both live on that boat, right? Live and work on the boat, right? So they're like besties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like, come on, like Glenn wasn't wrong. Captain Glenn wasn't wrong about the criticism. She was completely off her game. She can be really, really good, but she was completely distracted those couple of episodes and those couple of charters, and she did fuck up. And she needed to, the reason she has a hard time hearing it is because she knows that it's not core, it's true. Yeah. And that means that she has to look at her own self, and she doesn't want to do that. So
it's hard to self-reflect sometimes, especially when
for sure.
Nobody wants to know that they're not doing the best job they can do.
Right.
Well, Gary walks Captain Glenn out of the restaurant since he only stayed for one drink, while Mads and Alex walk away holding hands towards the table. I was like, uh-oh. And then we...
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we see Chase wanting to call out Gary on his leadership style, but says it's best to not burn bridges.
Just let it go, Chase.
All of America is gonna see his leadership style. It's not,
yeah, you don't need to call him out on it, Chase. That was a good call. You may, as I tell my kids every day, have fun, be good, make good choices. That was a good choice, Chase.
Yep. Well, then they leave the restaurant, and this is where we have a moment that we've all been waiting for this whole season. Alex finally makes a move on Mads and makes out with her.
Yep.
I was like,
they made out in the back of the van, while everybody else was up front.
I was like,
Gary was in the other van, but yes, there were a lot of people. So yeah.
I honestly didn't think it was going to happen this season. At this point, I was like,
yeah.
And we're not going to see it, but we did.
Yeah, he kept saying, "Oh, if Gary wasn't around, kept threatening." And he did end up having some balls after all. So
and he kept saying, "I don't like drama. I don't want drama." And you know what? I started to realize, I was like, man, this guy maybe is a man. Maybe he doesn't want to be in any drama involved in anything.
Maybe he legit, doesn't want to step in that territory.
Right. Kudos to him.
Yeah. Wow. Wait a minute. Okay. Wait, my brain hurts from that.
Yep. And then once they get back to the boat, Mads feels it necessary for some reason to go into Gary's bunk and
tell him, because other people are going to tell him. So she's like, he needs to hear it from me that I was making out with him.
Which, okay, like I understand that, but also you're drunk. Everyone's been drinking, and he's already in his bunk. Let the man be, and just tell him tomorrow. Like, it's not even that big deal, and you don't even like him. So what the hell does it matter?
Right.
It's one thing if they had some sort of agreement to not hook up with anybody else or whatever, but that wasn't the case. So I get it, but I also don't. And we see this cute... Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Did she owe him that? Did she have any obligation to him to share to share that? Like, that's how I would look at it. And I'm like, it's negligible. Like, I could see why, but I don't think it was 100% necessary. So,
like, I would say no, but at the same time, I'm the type of person that would want to just smooth things over and make sure all communication has been had. But at some point, it's like, is it worth it? I don't know. Is it worth telling him? The drama, because he's so dramatic. If it were any other person that was a mature male, and like, okay,
was he not dramatic? Was his reaction to this not completely 100% off the chain dramatic?
Oh, God, get out of my room! Get out! You played me. No, actually, you played yourself, buddy.
Actually, no, she didn't play you at all.
You played yourself. She was honest the whole time. Like,
she tried to drop you how many times, and you just kept. She called you a stage 5 clinger in one of the interviews. Like, he's gonna see that now, and I wonder, like, and she's like, he's gonna see that the whole season. She's like, okay, well, I'm drunk. I might as well have sex with them. That's fun, I guess. But I totally made the wrong choices.
Yep. Well, then we see it. Alicia and Chase dancing on top of the boat. I'm like, they're so cute, even as friends. And yeah, he's trying to flirt and she's turning him down, but they're adorable.
They are. They're cute friends.
I still think that Alex is probably the best in bed out of all of them because I've like now that I've followed him on Instagram and like seen all of the stuff he's into, and then seeing on this episode just like yoga and like but like just different like energy work and things like he's very like intuitive. And you see him reading the book on multi-orgasmic man and women or whatever. I was like, okay, this guy is probably gonna blow her mind. She's gonna be like, why didn't I hook up with this guy from the beginning rather than
the tantrum? Yeah, they are like in some hotel in Sardinia, like just blowing the fucking windows out, screaming.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to hear about that. They're gonna answer that on the reunion because unlike as we've mentioned before, unlike TLC and Sean Robinson, no shade to her, she gets a script just like everybody else does. But the reunions on 90 Day Fiancé never told anything. Like they didn't get into any of it, right? The joke in my house is they're not the tell-alls, the tell-sums, right?
Tell-littles.
Yeah. And contrast that to Bravo, and Andy will just call them on all their bullshit and all the stuff that we're always questioning, which is why we're so pissed when we don't get reunions on these random seasons that we don't get them on.
Like I said, I'm new to this whole Bravo thing, but what I've noticed, especially with like the Vanderpump Rules, is, and I'm assuming he's like this in all of the reunions. He brings a lot of audience questions into play. Like, oh, on Twitter, this person said this, but it's of course what everyone wants to know.
Right. They're not really audience questions. They're just,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like the tweets, I don't know. Either way, like, I'm like, okay, these are really good questions.
Yeah. But they actually go into the things like, and then he doesn't let him get away with shit. Like, we saw all of the bullshit on Scandival during that reunion, right? Like all of it. They didn't sugarcoat any of it. And we get the same with, like, I feel like we get our answers, like our questions answered at least like 90% on Bravo stuff.
Yeah.
Not the Real Housewives, but I haven't watched them in so many years that I couldn't tell you what they're like now. And
I've never seen that show.
When I watched the reunions before, it was so long ago, and I was probably not sober, so I wouldn't trust whatever my thoughts were on it. I found that with lots of things that, like, have you seen this movie? Oh, well, I know I've seen it, but it was before I got sober, so I can't say I was entirely sober for it. I can't trust my reaction. I'm a completely different person now anyway, so sure, let's see it again. Why not?
It's like watching it for the first time.
Anyway.
Well, now we see everyone saying goodbye. And as Chase was leaving, Gary kind of mumbled, "What a hard worker, Jesus," which I was like, wow, he was giving Chase a compliment.
Yeah, they actually did compliment each other in the end. It was like, okay, we clashed at each other, but hey, we were, it's because we were going 100% or whatever he said. And Gary's like, I've never worked with anybody like you. Oh, okay.
Yep.
You just didn't pay attention, like, or you were too busy having sex with them. Like, I don't know.
Okay. Yep. Well, it's funny because as him and Chase were like bonding or whatever you want to call it, Gary then tells Alex his move was snakish and it's such bullshit about him making
not the case. Like, talk about projecting.
Oh my God.
Calling Alex snakish? Are you kidding me? It would have been snakish for him had he jumped on that shit earlier in the season, which he didn't because you were nailing that. So he didn't go there. Calling him snakish, that was such a projection. So bad.
Yep. And Daisy and Colin are saying goodbye. Daisy and Colin are saying goodbye to each other. And again, I get this feeling as they're saying goodbye that he's way more into her than she is into him. He's asking her, like, where is this going to go kind of questions, or I don't know. I felt like he was asking some of those leading questions.
Yeah, I feel like he has some genuine feelings involved at a deeper level than she does. Hers is all very superficial based on, well, I should like him. But she's really just so shallow. She just wants what she's got with Gary.
Yeah.
She's not good. She's not good enough. She's not good enough for our Colin.
Yep. And that's when we see Alex say he's going to miss Mads, but not that much because he's going to see her again very soon.
Yeah. So they had plans to go boink.
And then Captain Glenn says, I thought the throuple left yesterday, talking about Daisy, Gary, and Colin. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And then the last note I took was Colin wants to reconsider the friendship between him and Gary because of everything that happened.
Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, he should, because Gary did some screwed up shit. And, you know, should he write him off? Not necessarily, but reconsider maybe the level of friendship, you know, that he thought he had, that, you know, he should have been more honest with him, you know.
Yeah.
Bros before hoes. You know, should he have violated Daisy's request not to tell anybody in order to tell Colin?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I feel like Daisy owed it to Colin to probably share that information.
I agree.
So yeah. And I do feel like Gary should probably have said something to Colin at some point, at least like somewhere during the season, during one of the many chances. Colin was like, are you sure? Well, how are you feeling about Daisy? Da, 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 da. And he had so many opportunities. He could have said, hey, you know, that would have been, I think, an okay time to share that information.
Yeah.
But his friendship with Daisy was higher priority than his friendship with Colin. And then that's something that Colin needs to look at. But we get the reunion next week. I'm so excited.
Is it only one episode? Do we know? Or is it?
I don't know.
I think it's only one. I feel like I didn't hear a part one. So.
Or a 2-hour event.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then I feel like we're going to see probably scenes from the upcoming season. I mean, okay, so we know they're or at least filming at this point, season 5. I don't know any details about it other than they're filming it, and that there are some returning people, some familiar faces, but that's it. I don't know anything more. Sadly. But that's part of what makes Bravo so cool, right? I don't get the leaks as much. I can enjoy it like as a fan, just like everybody else. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got for you today, right? I hope your mom is okay. Keep us posted.
Thank you. She just actually called me, so I'm gonna call her.
Okay. All right. Let you go call her. Thank you guys, everybody. Bye.
Bye.